Tonight, lesson 2 of unit 3, page 88 and 89. I know you've read them. We're continuing with expressions and equations. We're going to add and subtract linear expressions either horizontally or vertically. And I'll show you those later. And our essential question, how is adding and subtracting linear expressions similar to adding and subtracting integers? Obviously, we have to follow integer rules. Have I ever said differently since we've started school this year? We must know our integer rules. So you took some notes. The first thing you should have taken down is the definition of a linear expression. Linear expression has to have a variable with an exponent no greater than 1. And remember, if you don't see the exponent, what is it equal to? That's right. If you don't see 1, it's 1. So they gave you some examples here in the box. You may have written them down. I don't know. Wait a minute, I gave them to you. Never mind on that. I already gave them to you. So notice, in negative 4x, that expression, the exponent of the x is 1. And that is an expression because it does have an operation in there. You're multiplying x times negative 4. All right, we have 3x plus 5, 5 minus 1, 6x. They all have exponents equal to 1, right? An exponent. In the non-examples, the non-linear equations, these are expressions. These are expressions. They are, but they're not linear because they do not have an exponent of 1. They have a different one. So you can add your expressions either horizontally or vertically. We talked about that. You don't need to write that down. I'm going to give you some examples. We must always follow the integer rules. And one other thing I want you to write down is to add expressions. The reason I didn't put linear expressions in there is because this is how you add all expressions, whether they're linear or not, and we're just specifically dealing with linear today. But to add expressions, we simply combine like terms. In other words, we add like terms. That's all we do. So let's do it a couple times. We're going to find the sum of these expressions. How do I know we're adding expressions? The expression is designated by the parentheses. So this parentheses here says I have this expression negative 2x plus 2. And what am I going to do? I'm going to add it to another expression, 4x minus 7. Okay? So, that being said, if we're just combining like terms, we can do it horizontally, where we take the negative 2x and the 4x, and we say that that is 2x. And then we take the 2 and the negative 7, we add those together, and we get negative 5. If you want to do it vertically, some people like vertical. You would just write it this way, negative 2x plus 2, and then we're going to add, I can put the parentheses around there if you want to, and then underneath, I put the like term. So underneath, I would put 4x minus 7. And then I'm just adding vertically like I was taught in elementary, and I say negative 2x plus 4x. I come straight down, and I say that's 2x. And then 2x plus a negative 7, coming straight down, negative 5. I would get the same answer. Moving on to our next example, 7y minus 5 plus 8 plus 3y. And so to do it horizontally, you just combine like terms. I say, hey, I have a 7y and a 3y, that's 10y. And then I have a negative 5 and I have a positive 8, and that's plus 3. If I want to do it horizontally, I would say 7y minus 5 plus, now here's the difference. They put 8 plus 3y. But we learned about a property that says doesn't matter what order we add them, as long as we keep the signs appropriate. I can put my 3y under here and my positive 8 there, and now I'm good to go, and I can add straight down. And I can say 7 and 3 is 10y, and I can say negative 5 and 8 is plus 3, and I get the same answer. All right? So that's the difference between horizontal and vertical. Most of you will probably like to do it horizontally. I just draw lines connecting my like terms, but you can certainly do it any way you want. If you like putting your like terms underneath each other, it will certainly make it easier for you. Doing a couple more when we're adding linear expressions, but this time we have to simplify first. We have to simplify. It's not eliminating the parentheses, but it is simplifying by making this expression simple. Okay? This second expression is not simplified because we're multiplying it by 5. And so we do the distributive property, and we say 5 times 2.4, that's 12W, and 5 times 1 is 5. And now I'm going to add that to my first one, 7W minus 6. Now I can simply combine like terms, and I can say 7W and 12W is 19W, and a negative 6 and a positive 5 is negative 1. I'm only going to do it horizontally. I'm not going to do it both ways. One more time with simplifying. Didn't leave myself a lot of room at the top, so I'm just going to show it this way. And negative 2 times a negative 5 would give me 10m. And negative 2 times a positive 3 is negative 6. And I'm adding to that 4 minus n. Okay, so now when I combine like terms, I only see one m term. Oh, so I only have 10m. And I see an n term, so that's a minus n. And then I have this negative 6 and positive 4, and so that's negative 2. Yes, you can have an expression that has more than one variable in it, and so you're just combining like terms. And m and n are not like terms. Alrighty? Pretty straightforward. That's the end of this first video. Your quick write is 2 parts, A and B, and you're going to add the 2 expressions. So before you close this out, pause it and write those 2 expressions down, and then add them together. Take a snack, get a drink, talk to your mama, help with the dishes, have dinner, whatever it takes. Come back and see me for video